Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a former member of the SAS, that's the Surbiton Ant-Lovers Society, Craig Charles.
There's always been a couple of things putting me off contact sports. The word contact and the word sport. You see, I'm not exactly the fittest of fellas. I once told a mate of mine that I couldn't jump the hurdles in his back lawn, and then he said they were croquet hoops. Which is why on Robot Wars, we let the robots do all the running round for us. And contact, they can't get enough of it. Let's take a look at who's getting physical this week.
Well, we've seen Exterminator 2 before, seeded 22. We've seen Judge Shred 2 before, Millennium Bug are newcomers. So are Rambot. Arnold Termenegger against the seeded Behemoth at number 6.
Wired up and fired up, Behemoth team is back. For more destruction, of course. They've got 2.5 grams worth of titanium bucket here, which can lift 40 stone, probably. Mike skateboard. Sacrifices for Robot Wars. That apparently is meant to stop the thing flipping out, we shall see. But you don't need 2.5 grand. For Robot Wars, you could use an old water bucket like this one. This is the Arnold Termenegger team. Holly here is a chief strategist, working hard. It's not very destructive, but it's a start. They can apparently possibly lift 200 kilograms, but if they lift 100, we think that they'll blow up. And this is Rambot, new to the wars. This is the fastest robot we've got, 20 miles an hour. That is very, very nifty. That's because they've got modified Bosch motors in here, which will do the deed. That's a flipper. That'll come at you like a punch, even though it's small. It's very, very powerful. Titanium padded, so Shunt will have a problem getting through that. Also, start together with glue. That should be interesting. Will they be Larry the Lamb or a wolf in sheep's clothing?
Time to unleash the dogs of war. And boy, are they rabid. Hey, 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 let the wars begin!
From High Wycombe, Arnold Termenegger.
Lightest in the heat at 73.6 kilos, a lifting mechanism provides the weaponry, can self-right. The chassis comes from a cold water storage tank. Let's hope Arnold doesn't catch a cold. Now, we've seen the English family before in the last series with a walking robot, Miss Struts. It's the first time, though, they've entered a roller and not a walker.
We're Team II. I'm Ian, the team captain. This is my daughter Holly, and this is my son William, and this is our robot Arnold Termenegger.
Arnold has got a lifting device powered by a winch, which also acts as a self-righter. He's got 2 bits of metal here which stick out at the side when the lifter goes up, so that if he's on his side, he'll be lifted onto his front again.
Arnold Termenegger is a water tank, and he's got a mirror surface so he can scare away the other robots.
From Potter's Bar, Rambot.
2 steel spikes at the front and back act as lifting devices here. The outer shell is aluminium, the inner titanium for extra protection, and at speeds of 20 miles an hour, as we've heard, this can really ram and slam.
Hello, my name is David Johnson, this is Tim Denyer, and this is Warren, and we are Team Challenge, and this is our robot Rambot. At the front we've got spikes which we're going to ram into the opposition, and talons on the bottom to hook them. On the back we've got more spikes, so we're going to reverse into them as fast as we can and knock hell out of them. Inside we've got the biggest batteries we could get our hands on and the biggest motors in the business, so we know we're going to do some damage with this robot.
From Hemel Hempstead and number 6 seed, Behemoth.
A mighty machine, heavy at 80 kilos, a titanium shell and bucket scoop, 2 motors, and an electric wheelchair gearbox, top speeds of 6 miles an hour, and can be top heavy. You'll see what I mean from the Series 3 heat final. Pitbull rolled and in trouble, but the arena spike toppled Behemoth, and that was it, crashing over. Have they learned a lesson?
Hi, this is Team Behemoth, myself Anthony Pritchard, Kane Aston and Michael Pritchard. This year, this is Behemoth Evolution 3. The strength on the bucket is 300 kilograms, which just gives us good tickability.
This year we've come along with self-righters, so that even if we roll right upside down, we can always right and get back on our wheels.
We've also upgraded the drive for this horse, and it now pulls 1.5 ton, and it's a lot quicker.
Roboteers, stand by.
Behemoth with Anthony Pritchard, 23 years of age there in the middle, and his brother Michael to the left, and Kane Aston 2. And Arnold Terminator with Ian Inglis at the controls, and Rambot, of course. Looks good, doesn't it? David Johnson, an electrical engineer at the controls.
3, 2, 1, activate.
The Rambot dark horses in this, but it's immediately Arnold Terminator, taking on Behemoth. Behemoth strong with the bucket scoop. Arnold back on the attack, looks quite lightweight in comparison, giving 7 kilos in that push and shove, tug of war, and almost toppling Behemoth immediately, and this was the danger for Behemoth. We've seen it already. Can Arnold complete the task here? Behemoth in real trouble. A great yawning gap opens as it flexes the scoop though, and Behemoth getting away. A great slam from Rambot there, and this time it's Arnold who takes the tumble. Behemoth using the scoop, Arnold on his side, Rambot with the wedge underneath. Luckily, Arnold Terminator is okay. Right way up and rolling again. Sergeant Bash comes in, Rambot back onto the arena wall. Very quick Rambot, 20 miles an hour. Low centre of gravity, speedy. Look at that underneath Sergeant Bash with the wedge shape again. 2 steel spikes on the back. It has that little punchy flipper as well, and over goes Arnold Terminator once more. Has the self-righting mechanism, the metal side wings. This is a great battle. Behemoth flips Rambot, but they can roll either side up Rambot. They're okay. It's not a classic self-righting mechanism, but the wheels can roll Rambot either way up. Over onto the side goes Arnold Terminator. Out come the wings. Rights itself again. Very even, this one. Behemoth, seated number 6, on the attack again, with the classic warning, yellow and black side stripes and chevrons. Rambot, this time with an attack using the spikes, bashes against the arena wall. Behemoth attacking Arnold Terminator. Rambot in underneath Arnold. Behemoth, look, trying to lift Rambot. This is great stuff. Just see the winking, blinking eyes of Arnold Terminator. Will those eyes be shut in defeat? Behemoth flipping Rambot. Not a worthy attack, that. Not really if it comes to points to be gained by driving style. Oh, Behemoth's been punctured on the side by the spikes of Rambot. Rambot coming good, almost to the end, attacking Arnold Terminator 2. So we've seen aggression from Rambot all the way through. But have we seen great driving control by Rambot? Too quick for its own good, perhaps. We've also seen aggression from Arnold Terminator and from Behemoth, but Behemoth has sustained damage under 10 seconds to go. Behemoth on the attack, but that counted in its favour, as the judges will decide a very, very close battle, this one. One of the closest we've ever had, I think. So our 3 judges have to decide on style, control, damage and aggression. Behemoth immediately attacked by Arnold Terminator, but then Arnold taking 1 or 2 tumbles. Points knocked off, self-righting, points gained for control. Rambot rushing around, causing damage, I think, but was it controlled aggression?
The decision's in. Rambot has been eliminated.
So how's the team feeling?
We're pretty down, I'm afraid. Loss of the judge's decision. We might not agree with that, but that's life. We live to fight another day.
We were basically too powerful.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, we had all the power there, but finding a lot of trouble getting it actually down onto the arena floor there. And so, you know, ended up a little bit out of control, which is a shame.
And ripping up the arena floor.
Yes, we did that as well.
You're basically too good a robot, but power is nothing without control.
Has to be controlled aggression. Rambot pulls Behemoth and Arnold Terminator through. Judge Shred 2, Millennium Bug and Exterminator 2 next.
Order in the court. The Judge Shred team is back from Leicester. Judge Shred 2. Horrifically sharp pincer there. It's pneumatically powered. There's the CO2, the fire extinguisher cylinder. They've got a self-righter and a flipper, but it doesn't crush. Now, if you thought you'd heard the last of the Millennium Bug, it is back with legs on. 8 of them. Walks at the same speed as me. It's got a powerful lifting fork at the front here, so they think. They only put it on this morning and it hasn't been tested. The pressure of Robot Wars. Will it walk or will it kick the derriere of Exterminator? They've also got a ferocious-looking axe there. They've got every kind of metal they could probably find from the scrap heap there. Here is padding. This is the fastest robot that I think I've seen on Robot Wars, 25 miles an hour. That is awesome. And for one of these 3, there is a death sentence waiting.
From Norwich, Millennium Bug.
A walking robot, therefore allowed to be twice as heavy as the rest. A 2,000 RPM rotating disc was inspired by the success of Hypnodisc in the last wars. Will this be a bugbear for the rest?
My name is Rory Williams. I'm the team captain and designer of the Millennium Bug. Our team members are my son Thomas and Andrew Walker. Now, we're a walking robot, and that means we can be twice as heavy as the other robots. So we think we've got an excellent chance, and we're hoping to do very well. And we've been practicing our Millennium Bug special celebration, just like the footballers do. So chaps, if you join with me, this is the celebration.
From Hereford and seeded number 22, Exterminator.
Will they exterminate with the axe and scoop bucket? 2 750-watt, 24-volt industrial motors give the power. The shell is aluminium, and it's very, very quick. Takes a special robot to push panic attack all the way, and that's what happened in Series 3 in their heat final, but then they blew their gas canister and couldn't self-right, and it was the end, but Exterminator are back.
I'm Simon, this is Paul. We have another team member, Marlon. This is our robot Exterminator. Our main weapon is our axe here, which we use to impale as many opponents as possible.
Should we fail to use the axe, we may use the self-right mechanism to flip our robots over. As a defense mechanism, we have the bucket on the front, and should we get flipped, we have a self-right mechanism on the side.
From Colville in Leicestershire, Judge Shred 2.
Back to fast judgment again with a short, sharp shock treatment from the pneumatic axe. It has a wedge to flip and a streamek to self-right. The shell's polycarbonate and alloy. In Series 3, they gave Mr. Punch the old left-right combination, but then they were defeated by Exterminator, so our judges bear grudges.
Hi, we're Team Judge Shred. This is our robot, Judge Shred 2. These are my colleagues, David and Paul.
Hey, my job is to look after the drivetrain, the electronics in here. I'm responsible for the weapons, axe, flipper, both powered by CO2.
Roboteers, stand by.
Here they are then, Judge Shred 2. At the controls there in the middle, Alan Blakeman, a school technician. Millennium Bug with young Thomas, praying that Dad doesn't do that. Celebration dance and Exterminator, while I'm Pritchard at the controls at the right.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Interesting to see how the Walker gets on here, Millennium Bug. Actually quicker than the Walkers in the last series. Developments have been made. Very interesting. They're up to 4 miles an hour. I know, it's not startling. There you go. Exterminator slamming into Judge Shred 2 and forcing it against the arena wall. Look at the judges from behind. And the wibble wobble of Millennium Bug. Those leg scaffolding pipes. As Exterminator rolls away into safety. And Judge Shred 2 comes in on the attack and flicks away at the protective metal. I wonder if that's decorative only. For Millennium Bug, look at the great bludgeoning rotating disc at the back, 2,000 RPM, and that will cause problems. Do not get too tight to that. Another piece of metal comes flying off, and all of a sudden the thighs on those legs are being exposed. Hack to hack, Exterminator, and Judge Shred 2, Exterminator, through the flames. And to take on Judge Shred 2, well, the axe of Exterminator making no impression whatsoever there on the shell of Judge Shred 2. The shell polycarbonate and alloy, and at the moment, in this particular battle, I'd say Judge Shred 2 is the most impressive, but Exterminator means business now again on Millennium Bug. The arena is absolutely littered now with shards of metal from the bug. And again, it's Judge Shred 2 to come in. No, he leaves Exterminator to do more damage. Poor old bug out there, left alone. And it will not be going to the ugly bug ball tonight. Poor old Millennium. Exterminator 2, and now Judge Shred 2. They came in with a pincer movement to roll Millennium Bug over. And I can't think there's any way back now for the Millennium Bug. That's like a beetle when turned topsy-turvy. Oh, someone go in and write it. I don't think any controls in the world can rescue Millennium Bug now. At least we won't see Rory Williams and Andrew Walker and the celebration wiggle of the fingers. Let your fingers do the walking, let your robots do the talking, and it's silence from them. Exterminator with the axe. They're the Judge Shred 2 boys. And Millennium Bug onto the arena floor flipper! Oh, they didn't even bounce right way up. Dead Metal comes in to cut off the scaffolding poles. Millennium Bug no more. Flipped and a bit of a flop.
The bug's on its back, legs flailing, flipped out of the competition.
Well, it would have been all right if it stayed upright.
It wasn't that amazing when that hydraulic floor came up and flew through the air and sort of
if it landed on its feet, we would have been running still.
Oh, we're going to land on our feet. Anyway, it was good fun, wasn't it?
Yeah. It hasn't been immobilised.
That counts as immobilised. We're definitely out of the competition. There's no denying that.
You weren't immobilised, are you sure? Millennium Bug, you are a deceased, defunct ex-robot. Exterminator 2 and Judge Shred 2 go through. The seeds kept apart, Behemoth against the Judge. Exterminator 2 against Arnold. Arnold Terminator.
It's going to be a while before our competing robots are up and at it. So in the meantime, let's play some pinball.
Craig, you'll remember how last time we saw Gemini pass the total of long-time leaders Spawn of Scudder with a wonderful run, 255 points, 3 bots to come in this trial of driving skills and control and pace.
From Durham, seed number 5, Firestorm.
Veterans of Robot Wars, experienced. What will their tactics be?
Roboteers, stand by.
Points all over the arena floor. On the side targets, barrels to be struck, bridges to be crossed.
1. Activate.
Quick points to be gained by those barrels, I would have thought. Be quicker than that, Firestorm. 5 points for each barrel knocked over, so we've got at least 25. Ooh, not great driving skills, though. Bashed against the arena wall, and now the house robots close in. Can they get contact with the arena side target? They're too slow here, Firestorm. They need more quick points urgently. The multi-ball release, no, they've missed that. Dead Metals close them off. They come back again. Hit the multi-ball option. 10 points for releasing the balls for each ball in the pit. That's another 5 points. Can they touch the 75 there? Firestorm gets 75 points. Litter, you just saw the car door release. If they can open the car doors, another 25 points. They seem a little bit sluggish at the controls, though. Eventually, they open those car doors. Bash into Matilda. Matilda guarding the target. They're trying to get in underneath Matilda now. Firestorm. Good defensive work by Tildy, protecting the 50 points. And not enough from Firestorm in the end. Well, they'll be disappointed overall. Started off with all those barrels crashing to the deck. So we know they've got 25. Multi-ball release, yes. Another 10. Then they hit the big 75. So a reasonable score. Quite creditable. The door release. But then Matilda blocked them off. And in the end, frustration. Mordew and Graham Bone. And Firestorm 2 with 135 points mid-table. Invertebrat and Kilohertz still to come. Gemini at the top of the leaderboard.
Another player falling prey to our pinball pirates. And after that mouthful, let's get back to the wars.